Hello, my name's Ryan Borris. I'm the golf course superintendent here at Silver Creek Valley Country Club. My first day on the job as the superintendent was May 1 of 2021, and it's been great ever since. We've been busy just like a lot of other golf course properties here in the Bay Area, dealing with extreme temperatures, increasing rounds of golf, and everything we can do to make our world easy in terms of tools and how we manage the property. That's what we're going for. And when Parker came to us in April of 2020, and even before then, we were super interested on what PRM could do for us and help us with some of the challenges that we have in this property. We're continuing to use the product and evaluate its use. We've only been able to use PRM on the back nine, and we're still trying to evaluate ways to put it on the front nine. But it's a great tool, and we're very happy with some of the results we've seen so far. Being able to use water better, helping with some of the compaction and other agronomic challenges we have. And it's a new and wonderful thing that I think a lot of golf course superintendents across the country are going to be able to make their properties better by using the PRM products. Some of the things we use it for here, we have quite a few areas of high traffic and salt damage. We use reclaimed water on our tees, rough, fairways, playing surfaces outside of greens, and being able to manage those salts and with the PRM has been nothing but helpful. We're seeing some good numbers in terms of reduction in soil compaction, reducing some of the thatch that's accumulated in our profile, and just being able to better deal with summer stress on our property. We have heavy clay soils, and it's a thing that a lot of people in the East Bay and the South Bay, other golf courses deal with. And on the back nine, the places that we've used PRM, it's just been a great tool for us, and we hope to continue to learn what it can do for us here and apply it in other places and make the best playing surfaces we can and help our membership enjoy this property as well as they can. Well, we have two different systems that we use to treat our recycled water, and it's probably the only way that we can make water work as well for us as we can. We've got pHs of 7.4, 7.5, and we want to try to bring that pH down just a little bit as we introduce it into our clay soils. So we have a small amount of urea, sulfuric acid, and we've used different rates of acid that we inject into our reclaimed water, and it helps bring the pH down. So we took that same hardware that we had in place and used the PRM to inject as well. As the water leaves the pump station, that water is being treated and the pH is being reduced with our acid injection system and the PRM system that we use as well. The PRM system benefits from the reduction in pH in our reclaimed water. And that's another thing that's great. Here in the Bay Area, we can use as much reclaimed water as we need. If in 20 years the Bay Area gets to the place where there's a reduction in use and reclaimed water, that would be a challenge that no one can forecast yet, but right now we're allowed to use as much reclaimed water as we're able to. From the day we started using the PRM in our back nine irrigation system, it took a month, and then I just started to notice a different in color, a different in turf health in our stand of fairway. We had such a long summer in 2020, little to no rainfall in our historically wet months at the end of 2020, at the beginning of 2021. But a month after we started using the PRM system, we saw an increase in color, turf density, and just better health after a month of using the PRM. And again, a property like ours, there's no one thing that makes it better. We have to use a lot of tools and put them all together to produce the playing conditions that our members expect. So having the acid injection system in place before we added the PRM it only made the PRM system work better. We were able to lower the pH with our acid injection system, and the PRM bios only benefited from having the water with a slightly lower pH. All those things come together to help us balance fertility, manage traffic, and help alleviate some of the salt damage that we've experienced from 2020 to 2021. So our back 9 irrigation system is the only thing that benefits from the PRM system right now. So we're adding anywhere from 600 to 500 gallons of water treated with the PRM bios each night we run an irrigation cycle. That, coupled with some spot treatment. We have a 200-gallon sprayer that we're able to put anywhere from 100 to 200 gallons in less than 10 minutes when we want to thoroughly saturate some of our areas of salt damage with the PRM. And again, some of the benefits that we've experienced from the PRM are lessening compaction, increasing water infiltration rates, and we have noticed and continue to evaluate a lessening in some of our salinity issues in some of those areas. So using the injection system on the back 9 irrigation and our spot treat program, we put anywhere from 55,000 to 60,000 gallons of the PRM bios out on our back 9. At a time, we'll treat salt affected areas with 200 gallons, 100 gallons, and then we're constantly, as we run irrigation cycles on the back 9, injecting anywhere from, like I said previously, 500 gallons to 600 gallons a night. Starting May 8th until now, 60,000 gallons of bios used through spot treatment applications and injecting into our back 9 irrigation system. So using Parker's PRM system, it allows us to put the PRM bios out to scale. We have a 1,500 gallon Constitution tank that we build and continue to replicate the bios, and we just inject that treated PRM water right into our irrigation system. It's a lot different than putting 100 gallons out here and 200 gallons out there with the sprayer using an employee every single day, but the system Parker has set up allows us to put out any number of gallons not exceeding 1,500 on any given night. Not a lot of people have a setup like that, but being able to treat the entire back 9 property outside of greens with the PRM bios has been nothing but beneficial. Parker brought in his hardware, a pump, our timers, the ability to oxygenate the 1,500 gallon tank. Once Parker and myself ironed out the process, okay, this valve needs to be open at this time, or we're going to be able to apply this many gallons of bios. Once Parker and I knew exactly what was happening each and every day in terms of the buttons to press and the levers to move around, we incorporated our crew foreman. Hey, this is the process, this is why we're doing this, and it's been much easier ever since having people with the same knowledge Parker and I do. And again, it was great of him to have that hardware here first for us to iron out the process before we incorporated some of our staff. But once we understood completely what needed to happen and when, how much we were trying to apply, it was very, very easy for us to incorporate any of our staff and say, okay, we're going to plug in our hose, fill up the tank, add these many bios, and we're going to apply this many gallons of PRM tonight. And that's our next step. Again, any of the benefits that we're continuing to measure on the back 9, we would love to see the same turf health, the alleviation of some of our salt-affected areas on the front 9. Now, we don't have a pump station room as big on the front 9 as is on the back, so we're continuing to evaluate where we're going to put that down, and we're looking forward to continuing to use that product on the entirety of the property. You know, people have noticed from where we were this time in 2020 to where we are right now in 2021, there is a difference in the quality of the product that we can put out on the back 9, and we hope to continue to use that on the front. and that's everybody's goal. How do you operate as efficiently as possible? And if we can bring our profile to accept water as well as it can, to let water move through the playing surface as quickly as it can, it allows us to irrigate and better and more efficiently. Those are all the things that we continue to strive for. Hello again, my name is Ryan Borris. I'm the golf course superintendent here at Silver Creek Valley Country Club. Speaking on behalf of Parker Cone and PRM Bio's product. We're looking forward to continuing to learn about what Parker's product can do for us, and hope to put it to scale and continue to use it here and well into the future.